Tonight, there's another option on the table for Minnesotans looking to get vaccinated, what we know as the Johnson & Johnson vaccine arrives in the state. Plus, after struggling during the pandemic, local businesses received some financial help, but now they're concerned it could end up backfiring. And 30 years ago today, the largest inland oil spill in the U.S. happened in our region, and now some are sharing their concerns.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us tonight. The governor says Minnesotans have every reason to be optimistic as the state celebrates receiving its first doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Governor Tim Walz met one of the first shipments to arrive today. The state is expecting 45,000 doses of the new vaccine this week. Walz says along with J&J, Pfizer and Moderna are also planning to accelerate production. By the end of the month, he's hoping the state will be receiving 200,000 doses per week. Walz is asking all Minnesotans to keep doing their part to slow the spread until everyone is protected.
COVID has taken a toll on all of us, but the days are here that this thing's done. And I'm just going to encourage Minnesotans. We did the goal line stand. We took the ball. Now we just bury this thing. We get this thing done.
Walz says more doses means the state can accelerate its vaccination timeline and open appointments to more people. He says they're also starting to think about next steps for reopening, but they don't want to go too fast and allow variants to spread. A third vaccine is good news for those hoping to get a shot here in the Northland. CBS3's Natalie Grant heard from hospital leaders today to learn how this new option will help folks get vaccinated.
Kristen, on Saturday, 100 people will get their one and only shot of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine right here at the St. Luke's COVID-19 vaccination clinic. That first shipment arrived at St. Luke's earlier today. Mike Beislager, who's in charge of the vaccine distribution at St. Luke's, says this third option will help increase the number of vaccines their clinic can administer each day. Now, right now, they are giving around 450 shots a day, but say that they are prepared to give as many as 600 shots a day once supply allows. Now, overall, Beislager says that this third option will take us one step closer to offering the shot to more groups of people across the state.
We're thrilled to receive it. This is a regional collaboration to get shots in arms for Minnesotans. And, you know, the priorities are 65 and older and some other subcategories of that. So the faster that we can distribute that and get those vaccinations completed, the faster that we can go on to other populations.
Now, Beislager said that they are hoping for an increase in doses in coming weeks, but says that is not something that they will find out until the week of. So far, St. Luke's has vaccinated around 13,000 people, and right now they're focusing on people 65 and older. Now, as for Essentia Health, we are told that they did receive 2,200 doses of that Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and according to state leaders, they are distributing that vaccine across all of their locations in Minnesota.
All right, thanks, Natalie. And we're learning teachers will be prioritized to receive the first shipment of about 48,000 doses of the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine coming into Wisconsin next week. A bolster in supply that won't be matched again for several weeks. The Deputy State Health Secretary said about 30% of Wisconsin public school districts will be done vaccinating teachers by March 15th. Also, nearly 4,000 doses of the shot are headed to Pick and Save and Metro Market locations in Wisconsin this week as Kroger stores are added to a federal program targeting underserved areas. Previously, only Walgreens stores in Wisconsin were in that program. Wisconsin has officially launched its online vaccine registry, but so far only one county is participating. The registry is supposed to connect people with appointments near them. It was set to launch on Monday, but was delayed to fix some issues. Janesville, Wisconsin is the only public health department on the registry at this point. And in Michigan, more residents will be eligible for the COVID vaccine later this month. Starting in mid-March, people ages 50 to 64 can start making appointments. If you are in that age group and have medical conditions, you can get vaccinated beginning next week. Dave's here for our first check of the weather. What a beautiful walk I was able to enjoy this morning.
Oh, you didn't run this time?
Not today.
Tired out from yesterday?
I'm a little sore.
All right.
Getting back into it.
I can understand that. Well, down at the ground the day looked pretty nice, but on our Doppler map, it looks a little more intimidating because there is the tail end of last night's little low pressure system still creating some clouds and kicking out some snow showers that look much more impressive on the scope than they do on the ground. So we'll think about the Brainerd area. It looks like, whoa, is that a big snowstorm or what's going on there? A live look at downtown Brainerd shows there's hardly a flake on the ground. So a lot of that is Virga snow. Virga rain, Virga snow. It's re-evaporating before it touches the ground. But there's a slight chance some of that will try to touch our region as the clouds go towards mostly cloudy overnight tonight. But with 3 distinct cells of high pressure scheduled to reconquer the sky by tomorrow afternoon, we'll go back towards the sunny and warm side and stay that way through Monday. Will Tuesday be drastically different then? Well, I'll show you with the 7-day forecast what way it'll go coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. New tonight at 6, it was 30 years ago today that 1.7 million gallons of oil spilled from a ruptured pipeline in Grand Rapids. It's known as the largest inland oil spill in U.S. history. CBS 3's Emma Quinn explains how a group is now using that day in history as a message for those behind a major pipeline reconstruction project going on today.
A group of about 50 gathered here in Grand Rapids Wednesday for what they called a memory march to share concerns over what happened March 3rd, 1991, and the potential for future spills. The pipeline that ruptured back in 1991 was Enbridge Energy's Line 3, which carries crude oil from Canada across northern Minnesota to Superior. It took Enbridge years and millions of dollars to clean up the spill. Enbridge is now in the middle of a project to reconstruct that pipeline after years of regulatory review. During their march Wednesday, opponents of the ongoing Line 3 project called on Enbridge officials to recognize the dangers they claim pipelines can present and the impact they believe the pipeline could have on climate change.
We don't need these tar sands oil to come through and pollute our pristine waters, lakes, and all that good stuff that Minnesota claims to be.
Since the Line 3 reconstruction project got the final green light in December, opponents have made their voices heard in protests near the construction sites. Some of the people who attended Wednesday's march came all the way from Massachusetts, California, and Delaware.
Thanks, Emma. And Enbridge officials were not available for an interview today, but they did share a statement with us. They said technology and operations have changed drastically since 1991, and safety has and always will be the company's top priority. They added the replacement project will include thicker steel with more advanced coatings. Adding taxes on businesses just trying to survive. That's what's threatening thousands of small business owners in Minnesota. As things stand now, loans they were given to stay afloat during the pandemic will be taxed as income by the state. CBS 3's Kendall Jarbo explains what could happen to the hospitality industry if the law isn't changed.
Hospitality businesses can use federal Paycheck Protection Program loans to dig themselves out from the pandemic, paying for things like payroll, employee benefits, rent, and more. But what was meant to be a lifeline for small businesses could now mean financial ruin.
We're struggling enough. Right now, 2021 is the year of just surviving and hopefully digging out of holes, not trying to pay back debt that was given to us to actually survive the pandemic.
Jason Vincent owns the Boat Club in Duluth and 2 other restaurants. He received more than $500,000 in PPP loans. Congress made these loans exempt from federal income taxes. Minnesota has not followed suit when it comes to state taxes.
We can't afford to be taxed almost 10% on help that was given to us to keep our doors open. It just doesn't make sense.
Small business owners like Vincent might have to pay thousands in state taxes on money meant to help them recover. Hospitality Minnesota is working to pass a bill stopping that from happening.
It's been passed in the Senate to the Senate floor. It's got to move in the House. It's now been heard in the House. And we are cautiously optimistic that there's an interest and a bipartisan interest to move this forward.
Vincent is hopeful lawmakers will take action.
You know, I'm really confident that the lawmakers are going to do exactly what they've said they've been doing, and that's supporting their local restaurants and their small independent businesses.
Vincent's businesses could owe $60,000 in taxes if a change isn't made. Countless of other small businesses in Minnesota face an even bigger bill.
The bill waiving state tax on PPP loans would need congressional approval before going to Governor Tim Walz to sign. A northern Wisconsin lawmaker says county voters who are against raising local sales taxes, quote, aren't smart. Democratic State Senator Janet Bewley represents Douglas, Bayfield, and Ashland counties, along with other areas in our region. Her comment today came during a pre-taped roundtable discussion broadcast during a Wisconsin Counties Association meeting. Lawmakers were discussing Governor Tony Evers' proposal to allow voters to decide on a half-cent sales tax increase. Top Senate Republicans rejected the proposal, which is a priority for counties. Bewley explained her comment in a statement afterwards. She said after Representative Robin Voss described his district's voters being, quote, smart enough to vote a certain way, she claims she responded sarcastically. Bewley said she hopes the focus stays on the serious issues discussed and not on what she called her failed attempt at sarcasm. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, many Northlanders that are in school right now are learning from home, but one UMD professor decided to change things up. We'll find out why next.
Well, another day of warm weather here in our region. Duluth's over the hill, temperature hit 42. Pretty close to that. Proctor and Hermantown as well, well above the normal of 29. Some towns today were a little bit cooler than this 42 reading, and could go a little bit cooler tomorrow, but still, I think most places will stay warmer than normal for several more days. I'll talk about how many days coming up after the break.
Welcome to the Kelly Clarkson Show!
Whatever your water worry, Culligan Water can help. With over 40 filtration systems, including the world's best softener, no one filters more than Culligan Water. The only water that comes with a van. Contact Culligan, the local water experts.
Amazing power, amazing speed, one ultra cool price. Take your internet to the extreme, starting at $19.99 a month for 1 year. Experience blazing hot speeds from 60 meg up to 1 gig. Turn up the intensity with powerful in-home Wi-Fi and stay chill with 99.99% network reliability. Get extreme internet starting at $19.99 a month for 1 year. Dial 844-EXTREME2.
The new Kubota LX Series, built with comfort and versatility to outlast any job on the list. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo.
No one serves you better than Bullet Implement. Discover wonder from the shores of Superior, inspired to learn about what is out in the rest of the world as we discover wonder.
Hi folks, Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate co-pays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aids, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with the Give Back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month. Look, with the uncertainty of the virus and vaccines, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Here's the bottom line. Call to get significant benefits at no additional cost and see if your zip code has coverage with the Give Back benefit. Millions of people have trusted the Medicare Coverage Helpline. You can too. Call now. It's free.
Call 1-800-916-5591. That's 1-800-916-5591 now.
Were you silent or were you silenced? I just want to make it clear to everybody, there is no subject that's off limits. Almost unsurvivable sounds like there was a breaking point.
My biggest concern was history repeating itself.
You've said some pretty shocking things here. Wait, hold up, wait a minute.
Join us weeknights for Live at 5 as we go around the Northland city by city.
Local news and local weather here on CBS 3.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
All right, another look at the high temperatures from today, which were warmer than normal. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, it hit 42 at the airport in Duluth, and it got to 41 in Big Fork. Solon Springs as well, 45 degrees for our friends in Hayward, and upper 30s in the Upper Peninsula. A lot of 30s through Minnesota and some in Wisconsin, too. And temperatures will be similar again tomorrow, though the 40s tomorrow may be a little more rare. But still, 30s possible, and will spike close to 50 by one part of the weekend. Will it be the first part or the second part? I'll show you with the 7-day forecast here in a little bit, but right now we show you the current conditions that are coming in from Duluth International. It's 33 degrees there. We're looking at a relative humidity reading of 70% with a southeast wind going 8 miles per hour. 30.17 inches of mercury is the surface air pressure on the higher side. As a big wall of high pressure builds just off to our west. That'll probably keep us on the sunnier side for several days, though tonight, just like last night, some clouds will build in. There's a very slight chance for a few scattered flurries. Current temps, 29 Watersmeet, 31 Ironwood, and 29 from La Pointe through Washburn into Ashland. 38, though, down towards Hayward and Cable. 37, Solon Springs and Minong. 31 degrees for our friends in Superior. And currently 36 to 39 in east central Minnesota. Taking a look towards the North Shore here, we're looking at 29 by the lake in Grand Marais to 30 degrees in Two Harbors. And Iron Range numbers are running roughly from 30 to 35. Border country going that way as well. Overnight low temps tonight. Inland parts of northern Minnesota could drop into the lower teens, but upper teens to lower 20s for many of the rest of us. Doppler map right now. Well, last night's little low-pressure system drug a cold front through the area. We'll call it a cool front because it didn't do much to take temperatures down, but it did provide enough lift to create some clouds in east central Minnesota and a couple of snow showers and a couple of rain showers as well. Not much is touching the ground, though, as we saw by looking at Brainerd's picture. There's just a slight chance, though, that we'll see the clouds across the sky in the rest of our area tonight, and maybe a few scattered flurries, especially with a little lake touch for the North Shore, but it shouldn't add up to anything at all. And then tomorrow, well, the big wall of high pressure stretching from the Gulf up towards Alberta and Saskatchewan here will bring back warm conditions and sunny conditions. It may not be until Tuesday when we finally get a low-pressure system to overcome the Rockies, come our way, and bring us a chance for a rain and snow mix. A mix of rain and snow because we'll likely still be in the 40s then tonight. Low temps in Minnesota should run from 13 to 25. And for Wisconsin, Michigan, I think 15 to 22. Mostly cloudy sky on tap for everybody. Tomorrow, though, it becomes partly cloudy again because of the highs. Wisconsin, Michigan temperatures 32 to 39. Minnesota numbers 37 up north to 38 down to the south. And so taking a look at the rest of the week, the warmest part of this warm spell could be with us Sunday, the latter part of the weekend. 47 in the Twin Ports, maybe 50s inland. Then cooling just a little bit to set us up for our mix on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thanks, Dave. A UMD professor moved her class from Zoom to the slopes today.
So that's the friction that's going to generate the work as you go down the hill.
Physics professor Dr. Margaret Elmer Dixon has been teaching her class online for the last 14 lectures. She decided her students needed a change, so she took them to Chester Bowl in Duluth for some interactive learning. The students used sledding to study potential and kinetic energy in motion. Elmer Dixon says for many students, hands-on learning, even during the pandemic, is essential.
Going out into the field, if you will, and doing this experiential approach allows them to build that sensory memory, to get them to understand the concepts, not just from what they've read on the paper, what I've lectured about, or they've read in their books or done in problems, but to be able to actually physically apply it.
After the students finished all their calculations, they got to have a little fun and race each other down the hill. Ahead in sports, a lot on the line for both the UMD men's and women's hockey teams this weekend. Kelly's in next.
Northwest Outlet is your warm clothing headquarters of the Northland. Superior.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Your aviation career is ready for takeoff. Join us for Lake Superior College's Aviation Open House on Friday, March 19th, 3 to 6 p.m. Tour LSC's Center for Advanced Aviation and learn about exciting programs like Professional Pilot and Aviation Maintenance Technician. RSVP today.
Did you know there are changes you can make in your everyday life to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease and dementia? Eating healthy, sleeping well, staying physically active, reducing stress, socializing, and exercising your mind can all help. At the Wisconsin Alzheimer's Disease Research Center at UW-Madison, scientists study treatments and lifestyle interventions for Alzheimer's disease. Learn about reducing your risk at adrc.wisc.edu. This message is sponsored by the Wisconsin Alzheimer's Disease Research Center.
At Super One Foods, we go to great measures to deliver you with top quality meat every day. Try our Black Angus ground chuck for only $2.69 per pound and get Smithfield boneless pork country style ribs for just $1.99 per pound. Plus, we provide the best of the best in fresh produce. Get a 5 to 12 ounce package of Dole Special Blend salad for just $1.66 and premium Honeycrisp apples for just $1.66 per pound. Through all that we do, we've got you in mind. Super One Foods, serving you lower prices and better choices.
Don't let the weather ruin your day.
Covered by a winter storm watch.
Dave Anderson, Caitlin Moffat, and Peter Kavitkauskas. The CBS3 weather team, tracking more than just severe storms. Dave.
Our schools provide so much more than just learning support.
The school year didn't start out the way that we wanted it to, but who's to say it won't be better at the end?
We need to slow the spread so our economy has a chance to recover.
So our kids can be in school and be on the ice.
And we can keep our friends and families safe. For our students and teachers.
For our essential workers.
For the people you love.
Thank you for doing your part. Go Hunters!
Fire threatens everything in its path. When it threatens our communities, we respond. We bring the fight to the front line. The Army National Guard stands ready because sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard. We will always be there when our community needs us the most. Find out more about serving your community part-time by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19, and at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Fresh off their best finish in the WCHA in a decade, the UMD women's hockey team found themselves well represented as league honors were handed out this afternoon. 2 first-teamers in forward Ashton Bell and the brick wall between the pipes in Emma Soderberg. And forward Gabby Hughes and Anna Klein were named to second-team honors. The 4 are now looking to go after another championship this weekend, but head coach Maura Kroll says to have these 4 honored is a big deal.
It's a really big deal. Some great players in our league across all teams, and to be acknowledged, by our peer institutions, coaches. I think that says a lot for those guys.
We will have much more on these 4 tonight at 10 and how defense has been such a key to the team's success. And one weekend game sits between the UMD men's team and the NCHC playoffs. A lot is still on the line. The team wraps up their home and homestand against St. Cloud State, who they put the 5-1 beatdown on last Saturday at Amsoil Arena. An outright win for the Bulldogs over St. Cloud will earn them a second-place finish in the conference behind North Dakota. And ultimately, they are looking toward the NCHC playoffs, which will look entirely different in 2 years past. There will be no home ice advantage as all teams will take part in a one-and-done tournament at the Ralph in North Dakota.
We still have the opportunity to get the highest seed possible, and that's a 2 seed for us. So I think the biggest thing is kind of starting this weekend, winning a hockey game, putting us in the best position going into the NCHC playoffs. And from there, I think the major goal is kind of to win that tournament. We know that we can play with the best teams, and I think our conference has shown that year in and year out, we have the best teams in the country. So it's going to take everybody, but I think that we have the team to do it, and I think everyone believes in that.
It's the fight for the second seed in the NCHC tournament this weekend at Herb Brooks Arena in St. Cloud. Puck drop between the Bulldogs and the Huskies is at 1:00 p.m. And this weekend is also Selection Sunday for the NCAA Division II women's basketball tournament. For the most part, it'll be a pretty stress-free one for the Bulldogs. They know they're in for the third straight year after winning the NSIC title last Sunday over St. Cloud State. The weird part is, even though they've been in the past 2 seasons, they've only actually played 1 NCAA tournament game in that time. Since everything was shut down last March, this year they know what regional they'll be at down in Warrensburg, Missouri. What they don't know is who they'll be playing, although head coach Mandy Pearson has her eye on a few teams in the MIAA.
I think we have a pretty good idea of who at least 3 of those teams are going to be, or at least 2 of them. So we can begin that preparation now. Excited to actually go out and hopefully play really well in the regional tournament. And I mean, I think it would be awesome to advance to the Elite 8.
This last year, and then especially this year, I think our team really knows we can make a difference in the tournament. So I think it's a little different that way, and we're excited for that.
The selection show is set for this Sunday at 9 p.m. And that's going to do it for sports. We'll have more here tonight in the CBS3 News at 10. For now, Kristen, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Kelly. Also coming up tonight at 10, last year permit to carry applications doubled in Minnesota and saw a steep increase in Wisconsin. Tonight we'll hear from the St. Louis County Sheriff, who breaks down the number of permits in our area and why he believes there was such a jump in applications. A decades-old bomb hiding in an English city has been discovered and sent packing with a vengeance. That's what happened after a World War II-era bomb was discovered in England. The device, determined to be a more than 2,000-pound German air bomb, was unexploded, so authorities decided to explode it. But first, more than 2,000 homes in a quarter-mile radius had to be evacuated. The controlled detonation was a success, but did shower the area with debris. Residents are now slowly being allowed to re-enter their properties while the cleanup operation is underway. Well, back here at home, Dave is here for a final look at the weather. That's quite the forecast for early March.
Yeah, it really is. Temperatures are warmer than normal and conditions are drier than normal. Just a very slight chance tonight, like last night, for a couple straight flurries popping up here and there. Otherwise, persistent high-pressure systems take over again by tomorrow afternoon to bring back the return of a partly cloudy sky. And it becomes mostly sunny by Friday. High temps will be in the 30s to about 40 through Saturday, and then they'll surge. Sunday, 47 here in the Twin Ports, warmer inland possible, mid-40s on Monday. And after the longest of dry spells here, though, I think we just might finally get a break come Tuesday and Wednesday when a low-pressure system rumbles out of Alberta, Canada, to bring us a 40 to 50% chance for a rain-snow mix.
That's all we have for you at 6. We hope to see you at 10 o'clock.